EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, Mass. Today we've got a compelling AFC matchup for you, as it'll be the Houston Texans taking on the New England Patriots. And able to get this out to the 25.
At their own 25-yard line.
Stroud looks to throw on the first play. Checks this down to Marks out of the backfield. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Right away they rack up 10 yards on their first play from scrimmage.
Nice little nifty play for him there. That's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backs out of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody oh, he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice first down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that there. Nice pickup on first down.
That one came up just a little bit short. I'm wondering, is he still a little bit tight as this game starts? What would you say? Maybe he's got to take the governor off of it?
Or maybe the donut off the baseball bat, like the guys beyond that circle?
I like that. Yeah, just take that little extra weight off of him and start to play freely.
Stroud out of the gun here. A short one going to be taken in here by Schultz. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end, a guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight, doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. Again, it's Stroud. He's got his target. That's complete. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Patriots' 44-yard line. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another first.
Well, that's one way, and a good way, to get things going offensively. One play in, and they're already on the move. The defense, they're hoping that's not a sign of things to come as this game unfolds.
Now a run. Here's the rookie from USC. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
They'll fake the jet sweep, and now Stroud to throw off play action. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. Now he breaks free in the middle of the field. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return and a Patriot touchdown. And Charles, look at the big fella. What a rumble that was. Not only to scoop it, but then take it the rest of the way for the touchdown.
And now you know they're going to have to hear about it from now on. The defensive backs, he's going to want to run with them, do their drills, the whole deal. He thinks he's the pace setter now.
It doesn't matter what happens in practice this week, he's smiling. Extra point right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game. So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. So now we get set to see Houston for their 2nd drive of the ball game. Here's Stroud. That's going to be caught by Kirk. Oh, good move. There he goes right side. Christian Kirk. Touchdown, Houston. Christian Kirk, 74 yards. And the Texans are able to strike quickly here as they are in for 6. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
So only even at 7 now as they kick it away. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. New England trying to get a place on offense. Looking to put a drive together. A carry here for Trevion Henderson. And a short pickup to about the 27. It'll be second down.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
They'll come up on a 2nd and 7 from the 27. On play action, May. On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. To throw, it's May. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. A big play there on the catch and run. 33 yards.
They made that way too easy for them. No one is supposed to be that open against an NFL defense. Once he caught the ball, there wasn't anybody close enough to stop him. And he was able to continue downfield after making the catch.
Looking left side, and he's got him in. That's Douglas. Just a gain of a couple there. And it'll be 2nd down.
37-yard line. A gain of 2. Brings up 2nd and 8.
Down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain. That's a nice explosive play there, and this defense told us we have to have our eyes right on their RPO sets, and they did not have their eyes right.
I love that term, eyes right, meaning they have to be in the proper place and read your keys. And a smart thinking guy running an offense can see.
And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line. That was Will Anderson getting home and finishing the play.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation because the silver lining, they took a sack on 1st and goal. But that close to the goal line, that still definitely hurts.
1st down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. Looking to throw, May. His throw caught right around the 6. They'll still have a 3rd and goal now despite picking up 13 yards on that pass play.
And that was yardage that they needed there after the sack on 1st down. They didn't get all of it back, but now they look at 3rd down as a manageable situation, one that they have a much better chance of picking up.
They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. Disastrous outcome there on 3rd and goal. They lose 9 yards on the sack.
We always talk about how teams are so competitively matched and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down. And his kick is good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number one. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
After the made field goal, back out is Borregales to kick this one away. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. And now out comes Houston.
Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Now Stroud throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
I think he could have scanned downfield forever, but there wasn't anything available. Ends up throwing an incompletion, and I think he'll take that.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8.
Stroud. He'll get this into the hands of Nico Collins.
And I don't think he got there, no. He's short by maybe a foot, maybe. Call it 4th and inches.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
On is the punter Townsend as he gets this one away.
It'll be a 41-yard punt, give him 5 on the return. And the Patriots take over. So back onto the field come the Pats for their 2nd drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Not a huge carry there on 1st down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
They run once more with Henderson.
And he'll push forward for a couple to the 34.
We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well. But when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
From the gun on 3rd down is May.
Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he goes out right around the 39. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down. 3rd and 4, he did just enough. I mean, just enough to move the chains.
And that's all you're looking for, right? Just want to keep the drive moving. You don't need the big play there. Just get to that marker that you described, and he was able to do just that.
Here's a fake on the jet sweep, but instead a give up the middle.
And he pushes through a would-be tackler to get about 3 yards, 2nd down.
End result of that one, a nice 4-yard gain, so you can use that to set up your play-action game, or you can come right back and continue to run the football because as an offensive play caller, you're on schedule and feeling pretty good about your next couple of calls.
Off the play fake, here's May. Gets this complete to Butte.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A busy first quarter. His 3rd catch of the afternoon is a 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 47-yard line.
May going to give it to Henderson. And he'll work down inside the 45.
Oh,
that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Up the middle, it's Henderson. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Patriot first down.
Partner, there are strong running plays, and then there are plays where you simply outclass the defense, and we saw the latter there. They ran straight up the heart of that front for an excellent gain and first down. Simply put, you've got to put up more of a fight defending the middle. Otherwise, this is going to be a long game.
Over the middle, complete. It's Douglas. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. 12 more yards there and another first down.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. 40 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
Here's Stevenson. And he keeps fighting his way into the end zone for a Patriot touchdown. Ramondre Stevenson taking it in from 7 yards away as his guys are able to extend their lead.
Sometimes you get a first and goal and you're back near the 7, 8, 9-yard line, and you start thinking, maybe we'll run it here on first down to get half of what we need, so maybe we can have 2 or 3 shots and going for it from closer range. So this is a bonus right here. What a great run to work his way into the end zone.
Following the touchdown, Borregales back out to send this one away. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. And the football going back over now to the Houston Texans. And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
They'll begin on the ground with Marks. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
And Stroud now to throw. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up second down. There's no denying they want to get him involved. That's already the 5th time that they've looked his way in this first quarter.
So that tells me defensively that they want to insist on going in that direction. Make sure you've got your best people in the area to try and take that away.
Back to throw. Here's Stroud. Open man is Kirk, complete. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. Defensively, they're going to have to do something about him in a hurry because that last catch puts him over the 100-yard mark. We haven't even hit the second quarter yet.
And you did say they'd have to do it in a hurry. It has to be right now because as his confidence grows, it'll actually overwhelm the defense. No matter what they do, he'll feel like they can't stop him.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Patriots' 37. Give them 17 on the pickup there, and the Texans also get a new set of downs.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know They want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I thought he did a nice job there setting an edge and make sure nothing could get to the outside. But he decided that wasn't enough for him. Worked his way back inside and made the tackle on the ball carrier.
Throwing now is Stroud. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Stroud working out of the gun. A short one going to be taken in here by Schultz. And this play comes to a hold at the 33, and obviously that's well short of the 1st down.
Brandon, a good idea there on 3rd down. Run a little clear out and hope you can get your receiver the ball coming across the formation. Nice design, but well played defensively, and they stop him well short.
A 50-yard attempt.
Fairbairn able to put this one through. And they're back within a touchdown. It's 17-10. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. New England's offense set to go. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick 1st down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Now a 2nd and 2. Henderson running straight ahead. And a pretty athletic run right there as he's going to get this down inside the 40. 53 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start. Well, they're making a real first-quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old-school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it.
No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Here's 2nd and 10. Here's May. He's got Hooper on the short connection. A gain of 8 there on the play. And that's going to bring up 3rd and 2.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
2 yards still to go. 3rd down now. They'll throw with May. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40.
A loss of 9.
The safety blitz turns out to be a great call defensively as they sack him for a loss of 9. We are in for a good one as we're through one on EA Sports. Start of the second quarter from Foxborough. It's the homestanding Patriots with the football, as they've got it with a 4th down coming up. So on 4th down, here's Bryce Behringer on to punt for the Patriots. Jalen Knoll deep for Houston. Houston's offense taking over again. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half, as they're going to stop him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play. And now we've got a 3rd and 4.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
And this offense on 3rd down today, they've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. A shotgun snap to Stroud. And he's unable to haul it in, so it falls incomplete over the middle 3rd of the field, and that brings up 4th.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw him break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And this will carry out of bounds. Where are they going to spot it now? At about the 18-yard line, it looks like. The Patriot offense now set to come back out onto the field.
Obviously not the intended goal last drive. They had to punt the football, but still they've got the lead here, and now a chance to add on to that lead if they can get points on this drive. 1st and 10 upcoming. The drive begins with a run by Henderson. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
They suspected that it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on 1st down.
Here's a 2nd and 8.
And they go play action with May. Short pass caught by Henry. And Henry's going to pick up a Patriots 1st down as he'll get this up close to the 30-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
1st and 10.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
On 1st down, it's Henderson.
Now he's loose at the 40 and finally brought down at the 31-yard line.
95 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this 1st half.
We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the 2nd level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the 2nd level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. Give him maybe a yard, quite the opposite from the previous big gainer.
They went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Yeah, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a 2nd back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
To the air, May.
Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. They got to get it to the 21 here on 3rd down.
Throwing here is May.
Nowhere to turn here. He's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line.
A loss of 7.
Will Anderson. That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half. So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And, partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's the game plan that they've had so far, because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And they double him up here. That makes our score 20-10. So as it turns out, that sack doesn't wind up costing them, Charles. They at least get points, get 3 of them.
Yeah, that's where your kicker can really come to your rescue, because you know after the sack there was a little consternation there. Are we out of field goal range? Are we going to be able to get 3? In this case, he stepped right up and gave them exactly what they needed.
After the made field goal, back out is Borregales to kick this one away. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. Houston set to take over. The last series for him, a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive, 1st and 10. Looking to put a drive together. On the ground, it's Marks to start the drive. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Stroud looking to throw. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That'll be a pickup of 10 as they try to recover from this 10-point deficit.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Marks now on 1st and 10. And he maneuvers up the middle for 3, and it's 2nd down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Ball on the 40 now. Here's a 2nd down and 6. Stroud going to give to Marks. And only a couple for him there as the tackle is made at the 42.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. 3rd and 4. Stroud to throw it. That is caught. They'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a 1st down.
Yeah, these are the types of plays they're going to need to hit on if they're going to get back into this game. It hasn't been the greatest of first halves, but this is a nice throw here on 3rd down, and they keep the drive going.
They run straight ahead with Marks. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
You've got to be impressed by the defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
2nd down and 8. Operating from the gun. Stroud over the middle. He gets it to Collins. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. No gain on the play. 3rd and 7 now.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Here's Stroud. That's to the sideline and incomplete.
And based on my math, they've only converted 1 time thus far in this game, so you can see the frustration starting to come out a little bit. 3rd downs, they've been a problem for them all game. They've got to start becoming solutions.
Here's Tommy Townsend on to punt.
For the Texans.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And they'll play keep away from the returner as this one will be marked out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Pretty good spot. New England trying to get a place on offense. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable second down.
Straight ahead, Henderson.
And he's stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on 3rd down.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Now May on the sneak.
He is going nowhere as he is enveloped behind the line. So call that no gain on the sneak, and now they're still a yard short here on 4th.
No gain? Quarterback sneak? No gain? Aren't you supposed to get something out of that?
Yeah, needed a full yard there.
Here's Bryce Behringer on now to punt. Here's Knoll.
A 46-yard boot, but just 36 following a pretty decent return of 10 yards. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Looking to put a drive together.
They'll fake the jet sweep, and now Stroud to throw off play action. They'll find Marks out of the backfield.
They'll give him 4 yards there, and it'll be 2nd down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Stroud out of the gun here. Got a man. It's Collins complete.
It'll be a gain of 5, and that'll leave them with a 3rd and 2.
Brings up 3rd and 2.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the 1st here.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. Now he lets it go deep for Kirk. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
That's a really good job in execution. They avoided the flag downfield and avoided giving up yardage for free. Really good coverage.
And how about the call here? They need 2 yards in their own territory on 4th down, and they're going to go for it.
They're going for it. Here's Stroud. He's got his target. That's complete.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. A curious decision to go for it, but it pays off with a 1st down.
Not only is a slant route really difficult to cover, it's a real staple play for an offense on a 4th down because it's a quick-hitting play. Get the ball in the hands of the quarterback right to the receiver.
And the receiver has to be ready because that thing's coming on a rope. On 1st down, they'll run with Chubb. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Well, they get to Stroud, nowhere to go, and he goes down. Credit the sack there to Harold Landry.
Chalk that one up to bad acting, I guess, because they certainly failed to sell the handoff, and the pressure stayed keyed in on the quarterback.
No Oscar awards for this offense, just a loss of yardage.
The Texans on third down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 14. Now Stroud. This one complete into the hands of Higgins. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Patriots 21. Able to convert on 3rd and 14. A terrific play call.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Carlton Davis picks it. And the Pats are going to have it here at their own 15. They're going to throw. May. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
Well, touch and time are critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
2nd and 10. To throw, it's May. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Henderson will try and run for the first. And he's going to run into a brick wall right in the middle of the field, and I don't think he got there. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
Here's Bryce Behringer now. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. This is fielded at the 27. A nice return that time of about 14 yards. And the Texans will take over. And the football going back over now to the Houston Texans. Not an ideal way to end their previous drive. They threw the interception, Charles, after they had built up some momentum. They were moving the football, but something to at least build on for this offense as they run back out here.
Yeah, you're right about that. Up until that last play, everything was working pretty well for this offense, gaining chunks of yardage, getting first downs, really making a push for the end zone, and looked like they had a nice rhythm going. Now you got to have a short memory here. Don't focus on the interception. Focus on what came before it and get back to it.
A 3-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 7.
Ball spotted at the 45. Here's a 2nd and 7. Up the middle, it's Marks. And a gain of 4 gets him right to the midfield stripe.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
An extra corner comes on now for the Patriots D on 3rd down. Stroud. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have a Texans first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
10 yards.
Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
Throw out wide, going to be incomplete.
And a smart play there. He's probably saying, I wish I would have done that on the last drive instead of throwing the interception.
Now a 2nd and 10. From out of the gun, here's Marks. And he'll be brought down just outside of the 30. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. They'll try and run for it with Marks. Now the Patriots going to use one of their timeouts. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. So on 4th down, Texan kicker Kaimi Fairbairn comes on. He was true on his first. This a tough one from 49 yards away. The kick by Fairbairn is good. And that will tighten this one up a bit. Now a one-score game at 20-13.
So the 3 points there, and CD, that helps them inch a bit closer.
Yeah, partner, when you're losing, any points you see go on the board in your favor, you're happy to take them.
Fairbairn now, following the made field goal, he'll send this one away.
And they will wrangle it down a couple yards shy of the 30.
So the Patriots coming out now.
As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. That's a good way to start the drive, 17 yards and a first down.
Any questions of how they'd approach this drive were answered right there. They come out throwing, and they get a nice pickup here toward the end of the first half.
The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. They'll look to throw here. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
So much of this game is focus and concentration. And whenever I see guys running the in route, I know that in the back of their mind, they're always wondering who's lurking inside that might put a big hit on them as they try and catch the ball.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
From the gun, it's May.
The left side caught by Diggs. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 38-yard line.
For a Patriots first down. 1st and 10 at the 38-yard line.
From the shotgun, May with it.
Short pass caught by Henry. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
He didn't just deny a big throw there. He broke that one up in the red zone. An excellent play, one that may help save points on the board when this drive is over.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. Again, he'll drop to throw.
This throw incomplete, nearly picked off. And with his pedigree, he doesn't drop many of those, but 3rd down coming up.
Well, every point certainly counts at this stage of the game, but after driving so far, you absolutely know they want to finish it with 6 instead of 3.
Here's May. They'll find Henderson out of the backfield here.
And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 16. A nice pickup there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
1st and 10 at the
What a drive
16-yard
this has been, just chewing up the yardage. And here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
And it'll be intercepted.
And the Texans are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line.
Well, indeed, trying to run it out as they start on the ground. And he's got some space here. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime.
And the Texans, first down. First and 10 at the 35-yard line.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on first and 10.
Back to throw. Here's Stroud.
This pass complete to Higgins. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2.
Final play of the half. Stroud. Oh, he'll let one go deep for Higgins.
And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down. 2 still remain. We step aside. This is the NFL on EA Sports. So here we go for half number 2. The Patriots with the lead, and they will be getting the football.
And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. And the Patriots going to take over here to start quarter number 3. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better. And I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation to pick up those pass rushers, because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
So the completion good for 6 yards. And it's second down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
They give him about 4 on the play, but he's marked short, so it'll be third and about the length of the football. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
He'll wind up getting 2 there as he does it himself and picks up the first.
I don't know about you, but I like this call. 3rd and inches, and instead of worrying about getting it back to a running back and maybe there's some penetration from the defensive front, just go ahead and take it, move forward, and pick up the first down.
And as we say often, shows confidence in your offensive line. Oh, he's hit. He lost the football. Put it on the carpet. And the Texans scoop it. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line. Following the fumble recovery, Stroud.
He'll swing this out to Marks.
That's a good job there by the corner. We do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
This is 2nd and 8.
Up the middle, it's Chubb. And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43. The completion on first didn't get much, and now the run on second doesn't get a whole lot either.
Well, if you're a good play caller, you've already looked ahead and anticipated this type of situation. Already down in his play sheet, trying to dial up a big 3rd down play.
And Stroud now to throw.
And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe.
Dropped for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders.
And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
New England's offense set to go.
And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. He finds Douglas complete. So the completion gets him just a yard, and it'll be second down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well, great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Diggs in motion left. Throwing here is May. It's complete to Diggs. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. That one good for 13 at a New England first down.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
They run the option here on 1st and 10. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. The keeper there turning into a big play of 23 yards, and it moves the sticks. It looked like almost a miscommunication defensively because once he decided to keep it, he had pretty smooth sailing.
Yeah, it became a question of, wait a minute, who's got the quarterback? And when you talk about miscommunication, it's supposed to be called assignment football.
Now he's over the line and into the end zone for a Patriot score. It's a 1-yard touchdown run, and the Patriots have taken a 2-touchdown lead now.
Sometimes offenses can get too cute down near the goal line, but there's nothing fancy about this one. As Coach Lombardi would say, we get a seal here, and we get a seal here, and we run this play in the alley. And that's good work to hit the hole hard and finish in the end zone.
Texans 13.
Following the touchdown, Borregales back out to send this one away. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Now comes a Houston offense as they get set to take over here. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He'd love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
At the 35-yard line.
From the 35, back to work on 2nd and 4. On the give, here's Marks. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. 10 yards there, good enough for a Texan first down.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
Stroud to throw it. He's got it to Collins, complete. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
A couple of first downs right in succession, and this is an offense that can really use a good drive, and they're off to a fast start here.
Throwing now is Stroud. And he goes down. It's a Patriot sack. A loss of 4 that time on the sack, and it brings up 2nd.
Well, this has turned into an absolute week to forget for this quarterback. Multiple sacks, pair that with multiple turnovers. As far as he's concerned, if he ever sees this defense again, it'll be way too soon.
Here's Stroud. Now he's going to step up and run. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation.
Partner, just a second earlier, and they might have had him because they certainly thought they were going to close in and drop him behind the line of scrimmage, but he had just enough time to dodge the pressure, and he ends up getting yardage before being stopped.
From the gun on 3rd down, here's Stroud. And this pass broken up. And the contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
It's been clear in this matchup which side has been the more physical one. It's been this defense. And here's another example on that last play.
So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. This will be from 56 yards out. And that is no good. And this will remain a 2-touchdown game.
And anytime you see a kicker trot out to try one from 56 yards, you know everything's got to come off perfectly for it to have a chance. If the laces aren't quite right, if he doesn't hit the fat part of the ball just right, it's unlikely to go through, and that one winds up no good.
So the missed 56-yarder, and now the flip side. Good starting field position at the 46 near midfield. That pass complete. Here's Butte with it. And he's brought down. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
That's
another nice play there. They've gotten down into the red zone in no time at all. That's what this offense can do when they get on a roll. And now they're set up with a 1st and 10.
They'll throw with May. And this is caught. Touchdown, Patriots. Stephon Diggs. A 15-yard touchdown grab. And the Patriots take a 3-touchdown lead. And, partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle 3rd of the field.
And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening. But they found the opening and exploited it.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead down to 3 touchdowns at 21. Following the touchdown, Borregales back out to send this one away. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Got his man complete over the middle. It's Schultz. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a 1st down.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football, and right now I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Give them 17 on the pickup there, and the Texans also get a new set of downs.
That's really good play design right there, and it's one that comes down to the offensive line. It's a deep in route, but it's only going to work if that line gives you time in the pocket to wait for the route to develop. Mission accomplished there as they pick up the 1st down.
Trying for Kirk, and he's got him on the crossing route. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a 2nd and just a few inches left.
38-yard line.
The handoff, it's Marks. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. They'll say no gain on the play, so it was looking good, but nothing there. Now it's 3rd down and inches.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
Stroud keeps it. And he is going to have a Texans 1st down, at least at first glance, as he'll spot the football just beyond the marker. They find a way to convert on 3rd and inches.
There may have been a little bit of an element of surprise there. 3rd and inches, and they go quarterback sneak. I still feel like this is a play that often is reserved for 4th down.
They'll fake the jet sweep, and now Stroud to throw off play action. Got a man. It's Collins complete. 2 yards on the pickup there, and it's 2nd down.
It's 2nd and 8 at the 34-yard line.
Now a first carry for their fullback. And he'll follow his blockers there all the way down to the 23-yard line. That's good for a Texan 1st down, a 12-yard pickup.
Watching that run takes me back to something a famous old coach once said. Any player he wants on his team, he wants him to be agile, mobile, and most definitely hostile.
Now Stroud. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
Another attempt, another incompletion, and when I look at the scoreboard and where we are in this game, it comes to mind that they have to start getting the ball in the hands of their playmakers. Throw it to the guys that maybe can take a short pass and turn it into a long gain or make people miss downfield. They've got to have points, and the guys who can put the ball in the end zone, they're the ones that need to touch the ball.
Throw right side is going to be caught by Kirk. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
A gain of 6 yards. And it's 3rd down.
Stroud looking to throw. He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. Carlton Davis speeds in for the sack on the corner blitz.
I know nowadays they give a lot of guys different things when they get to the sidelines after creating a big play, but just throw a cape on this guy because he single-handedly ended multiple drives. Interception earlier, sack on 3rd down. Really should have a better game plan and start how to contain him because he's affecting this game in so many ways.
The kick by Fairbairn is good. And the deficit drops now from 21 down to 18. So his 3rd field goal of the ball game brings him a bit closer, but there's no question they need to start turning some of these 3s into 6s.
And 7s and probably even 8s. You know, as a kicker, you just head out when you're called upon, so he's done his job. It's the rest of the offense that needs to get it in gear. They want to close this gap.
Fairbairn now, following the made field goal, he'll send this one away. And he won't quite make it to the 25. And now out come the Patriots. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. A carry by Henderson to start the drive. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
Look, all any running back wants is a little bit of room, a little bit of space in order to maneuver. But he also understands how difficult it is for his offensive line up front. So if they give him any space, he realizes his job to make more out of it than what they give him. Picks up 3 on that carry.
To throw, it's May. Finding Henry here on the crossing route. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. It'll be a Patriot first down on a pickup of 16.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
My first thought is surprise, because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
A 2nd and 10 now. Third quarter action from Foxborough. Douglas, the man in motion. From the shotgun, it's May. He finds his man, complete. That's Douglas. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 40.
That's another beautiful throw right there. Gets it to his man right in stride. And I think that throw kind of exemplifies what we've seen from this offense throughout this game. They've been in rhythm. They've been sharp. They've been on it. And they pick up another first down there.
Henderson now on 1st and 10. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
Well, they run the option on 2nd down. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. Beating him there with his legs. 21 yards, first down.
Pretty nice play here. They go read option, read the defensive end, and when he collapsed down inside, how about the quarterback pulling it, keeping it, and not only getting to the second level, but picking up some really nice yardage.
Very, very well read. And he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line. Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
And here he'll get it down to the 7. And that's good for a gain of 6. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control.
And that's going to be called for a Patriot touchdown. Keyshawn Butte, a 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Patriots get another third-quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. So another touchdown there, and even though we're still just here in the third quarter, kind of hard now to see them giving up this lead.
And this is just an offense that's imposing its will right now. You name it, they're able to do it. If you're the play caller, whatever you want to select is there. You want to run it, you want to throw it, pick a play, any play. They're rocking and rolling right now.
Following the touchdown, Borregales back out to send this one away. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. The Texans offense set to regain possession. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
And the Texans, first down. 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Foxborough. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. Stroud checks this down to Marks out of the backfield. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And that's going to bring up second down. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
From the 45 on second down, Stroud, 7 yards there and a first down.
But they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
So into Pat's territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 47. They'll look to throw again.
On a slant, here's Collins.
It'll go as a gain of 4, and that'll bring up second down.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. Another one caught by Collins. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
And the throw and the catch were just fine, but against zone coverage when you run a drag route, what you're hoping for is he makes the catch and makes someone miss, and they don't there. Very difficult route to run when everyone has their eyes back towards the quarterback and they're able to see the route develop.
The throwing again is Stroud. This is caught. It's Kirk. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. 23 yards, the final tally.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
Back to throw. Here's Stroud. And this is incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
To throw again on second down. Stroud. Now he'll tuck this and run. And he's taken down at the 7 after a gain of 7.
The plan was clearly to challenge them by sending a blitz on second down, but even the extra guys couldn't catch him in the backfield, though. He doesn't scramble for a first, but he does get the last laugh by evading the blitz and getting beyond the line of scrimmage.
Out of the gun now on third down. He'll try to pick it up himself, and he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. C.J. Stroud taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Texans are able to make some inroads here to that deficit.
Well, I'd have to say that for him, that was an all-encompassing drive because it was his arm that got his team down to that point, but his legs that finished the deal. Give him credit for making it happen.
Fairbairn good with the extra point. And that'll cut the lead down to 18. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. And the Patriots gearing up to go now. Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would have, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate. But we'll see what they decide to do as they come out for this one. But the way this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
158 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
So from the 26-yard line, here's the 2nd and 8. Again, it's Henderson. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. That one a first down pickup of 8. It carries like that. That's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. 18 yards there, and it'll be a 1st and goal.
But they've certainly not shied away from throwing the football as they've leaned on their quarterback to start this game. 4 straight passes right out of the gate, with that last one earning them a new set of downs.
Stevenson. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Here's May. And this is caught. Touchdown, Patriots. Stephon Diggs with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon as his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead. He's got them out now to a 3-score lead here in the fourth quarter after that one, CD. And, well, he looked right off the line like he knew that that ball was coming his way, and he secured it for 6 points.
Yeah, I think when you're leading by a healthy margin already, it actually loosens you up and allows you to take maybe a few more chances and definitely play with more confidence because he certainly saw something he could exploit in the defense, and he made sure to let his quarterback know, just get it to me. And the rest was all up to him, and he delivered and made it a 3-score game.
Following the touchdown, Borregales back out to send this one away. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Texans getting set here to take over again on offense. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, that's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
What I love about watching the passing game nowadays is that the one-dimensional receiver is really starting to lead the game. You've got to be able to do it all. Of course, you got to run fast. Of course, you got to catch the ball. But route running savvy and toughness, there's a premium for all of that now.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Stroud. The Pats are going to get there. Down he goes. Milton Williams in there to record another sack, and that is now 6 on the afternoon for this defensive unit.
I don't know what else can be said about this pass rush. They have been sensational. CD, that is now 6 sacks for them.
And how many times do we talk to offensive coordinators and they say a sack is a result of everyone on offense not doing their job? But let's be honest about this one. This is the offensive line unable to counter the pass rush. They've been teeing off all game long.
Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
4th down, 4th quarter. Here's Stroud. He'll let this go deep for Collins.
And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. The Texans tried it, but they come up empty here on 4th. And the Patriots take over. They're going to have terrific field position.
On 1st down, it's Henderson.
And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
Well, sometimes despite the best planning, the defense actually has a plan as well, and they blanketed everyone on that play. They were able to close it down and spill him for a loss.
The offense on 3rd down, they've hit on half of them, 5 for 10. This is 3rd and 11. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Partner, you and I have struggled with this for years. You've got the lead. Just take care of the football and burn some of that clock. But there's something to be said for not taking your foot off the gas as well, because you can never have too big of a cushion. That one, though, falls incomplete.
A 43-yard attempt.
And his kick is right there. It's good, and that will extend their lead even further.
So the starting field position was terrific following the surprising turnover on downs, but the end result, only 3 points.
Simply stated, I think you have to look at that as a missed opportunity.
After the made field goal, back out is Borregales to kick this one away. And able to get this out to the 25.
And now out comes Houston. And last time, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. We'll see if they can pick themselves up off the mat and do better this go-around.
Sometimes I have this vision of coaches writing notes to themselves before a game. And sometimes that note says, be aggressive, stay aggressive. Maybe that's what we saw in the last possession.
Yeah, they were very aggressive. This time, will it result in points? We'll find out. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively, because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. These two have hooked up 9 times now this afternoon as they pick up the first.
Well, this game is certainly pretty well over. They'd go ahead and mark it in the win column. But as a defense, they don't want to get so soft now that everybody just throws the ball all over the place against them, gets big yardage, and puts points on the board. They have pride, too, on that side of the ball.
Now we pulled in downfield by Collins.
And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35.
With this game well in hand, perhaps we are seeing the coverage lighten up a little bit as they got burned there a bit for a first down.
But we certainly know the coach isn't happy along the sideline. because he certainly wants them to finish this one out the way they started it. He doesn't want to give up any soft completions, no late points. He wants his lead to stay right where it is.
Looking sideline, incomplete.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another first down.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Stroud out of the gun here. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Patriots' 25-yard line.
Charles, he's now over 400 yards passing in this one. It feels like he has a zillion completions. Just a very memorable effort from a guy that we thought could be in line for a big game, and he has exceeded our expectations.
That he has, and I'm not really surprised at all because when you look at this offensive unit, they are loaded across the board.
And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30.
Christian Barmore getting in there to drop him.
So if we recount real quick, he had the touchdown earlier, and now he comes up with the sack here. No doubt about it, he's having himself a game.
Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack.
And Stroud now to throw. He'll complete this one to Collins.
They'll wind up getting just a yard out of it. And that'll force upon him a 3rd and 14.
3rd and 14.
Going to need a crafty play call here. 14 yards is what they need to try to convert this thing.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Fourth down. Here's Stroud.
And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Texans tried it, but they come up empty here on 4th. And it'll be a turnover on downs. Looking to put a drive together. They'll run with Henderson here to begin the drive. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Short completion, just 4 yards. And now 2 yards to go on 3rd down.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Douglas, the man in motion.
To the air, May. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Patriots first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Well, there's absolutely been no stopping this offense today. They already have the big lead, obviously. Here in the 4th quarter, they could coast to the end, but right now they're not passing up any chances to put up some garbage time yardage.
And, partner, why would they? Because who knows the next time you'll be playing as well as you have today. When you're in that zone, you go ahead and take full advantage of it. You don't worry about your opponent. You just worry about what you're doing.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
Ball on the 47-yard line. Here's a 2nd and 9.
The tight end Henry here in motion. Throwing here is May. And an off-balance throw there, and it's going to wind up incomplete. Well, they're up comfortably here, Charles, but that lead certainly not dissuading them from pressing the envelope late. I mean, if anything, with these passes, it's like they're getting more aggressive to try to drive the ball downfield.
And that will certainly lend itself to some post-game questions for that coach, and maybe you and I should attend that press conference and see what he has to say, because someone's going to ask him why he continued to push it. My guess, he didn't like how some of the snaps were run earlier, and he wanted to use that as a chance to clean things up, but he certainly will have some explaining to do.
Bryce Behringer in punt formation for the Patriots.
The Patriots send out their punter as he's on to kick it away. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. Houston set to take over. Well, CD, it's all window dressing at this point. I mean, the best they can do is in the game with a nice drive to maybe build some momentum to move forward into their next contest.
Yeah, and with how lopsided this game has been, even one score might not do a lot of cosmetic good on the scoreboard, partner, because it's just about looking forward at this point. Get a touchdown here, give yourself some positive momentum and reps to focus on when you get back to practice in the next couple of days.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Offense looked a little bit discouraged after that play, shaking their heads a bit, looking at each other. I think they thought they'd get a lot more out of that call. Sometimes you do get the running lane you want, and other times the defensive front, they just break up the play before it can get going.
Stroud going to give the marks. And he'll be upended here after a pickup of 3, getting it out to the 25.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Here's Stroud. Connecting on the out route here with Higgins. And he is going to have a Texans first down. He needed 5. He got it barely, as it will officially go down as a gain of 5 yards.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a 2nd and about a foot. With that pass, CD, he's now over 400 yards in the game. And even in a pass-first league, that is still a tough benchmark to hit.
And all week leading up to this one, all we read, heard about was the confidence he had that he could put up big numbers. Kudos to him for coming out here with that belief in himself. And
well, they get to Stroud, nowhere to go, and he goes down. Christian Barmore picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance. Well, by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles, just complete domination on both sides of the football here in this one.
Certainly was, and I think both sides compete against each other all the time. You go at each other in practice, obviously your training camps, your off-season. But on game day, you both want to show your best. And I think that's what we saw from both the offense and the defense, a complete team victory.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaughan. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. The Patriots winners here at home as we say so long from Foxborough. Men ready to do battle. It's time to dance. And we are underway in Foxborough. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30.
The Texans take over 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
Now a run. Here's the rookie from USC. And he'll scratch out a yard up to the 30, and that's all.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
They run straight ahead with Marks. And he's got a good gain of 7 up to the 37.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
But just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1. Stroud keeps it. And he is going to have the Texans first down. At least it would appear that way. He didn't get it by much, but yes, they do get the conversion on 3rd and 1.
Well, they pick it up on 3rd and 1 on the quarterback sneak, and that's not easily done because there are extra bodies in there on the defensive side, and they're moving forward at the snap.
Yeah, I was certainly expecting a handoff, weren't you?
Yeah, I totally was. I thought they'd go with it back, maybe try and get a lead blocker in front. But as you talked about in different games, those guys with confidence in their offensive line, they just want to move forward and get it.
Well, sometimes as a running back, you've got to be able to improvise when the hole's not where you expect it to be. But in this case, there wasn't any improvisation that he could do that was going to work. Kind of like if you're trying to be a comedian on open mic night at the Improv and you run into a tough crowd.
Toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete.
Incomplete on the throwaway. It's 3rd down and 8 yards to go.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Stroud to throw it. The throw here right sideline falls incomplete.
1 first down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
The Texans send the punter out. Back deep for New England is Marcus Jones. Calls for the fair catch, makes the fair catch just inside the 15-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Pats will be backed up deep to get the drive started as they take over 1st and 10. Looking to put a drive together. From the gun, it's May. Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's 2nd down.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes. But the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. A carry here for Trevion Henderson. And not much there at all. He's up only to about the 16-yard line. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves him with 3rd and 9 looming.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. And oh, he's just going to be short here, barely. Maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. Fielded at about the 28. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. So now we get set to see Houston for their 2nd drive of the ball game. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
16 yards right off the bat and a first down.
Yeah, that's a good start to drive number 2. Remember, they had to punt the first time they had it. So maybe a little bit different sense of purpose here, and they start out with a nice gain and a quick first down.
A shotgun snap to Stroud. This one complete to Christian Kirk. He'll be stopped at the 35, but not before he picks up 7 yards.
Brings up 2nd and 2 at the Patriots' 35-yard line.
2 yards to go, second down. On the handoff, Marks. And he works his way free all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone. 15 yards, the Texans pick up the first down.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight-ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid gain.
Once more with Marks. They'll get forward for 3 down to the 16-yard line.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
Second down and 6 now. First carry for Nick Chubb. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal. The first drive this unit had, they punted. This drive, much more polished, just looking crisper, aren't they, moving the ball?
Maybe the first drive was a little bit of a wake-up call. Probably a little bit angry that they had to punt the ball away the first time they had it. Got motivated, got to the sideline, and said, okay, let's not let that happen.
And he's in for the score. Touchdown, Texans. Woody Marks taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Texans are on the board first here this afternoon. Well, solid blocking up front from the guys on the offensive line allowed him to get in for the touchdown.
Yeah, some might say that the guys on the offensive line were in concert. I used to have a coach who called it marrying up, meaning when you get on a guy, you just stay right there. Each guy has his own assignment. That allowed the runner to make the big move towards the end zone.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. So back onto the field come the Pats for their second drive. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
2nd and 7 at the 27-yard line.
Here's 2nd and 7. On play action, May. Hunter Henry brings it in. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
That's good.
His first catch of the game, good for 11 and a first down.
1st and 10.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Jalen Petrie coming up to bring him down. You don't see that a ton, do you? Or the cornerback coming over to the middle of the field to make a run tackle.
That's someone with a ton of confidence to feel like nothing is pressuring him on his side of the field. Sees that the ball is moved to the middle and just sprints over there to help out. He ends up getting the tackle. Well played.
So So give him 2 yards there on the completion. And 3rd and 8 now.
And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on, because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
To throw, it's May. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Will Anderson with a big-time sack on 3rd down. It's a loss of 7.
And this is what you've got to do against a quarterback like him. You've got to keep him in the pocket and not let him get to the perimeter, because once he gets outside, that's where he can really hurt you.
The Patriots send out their punter as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. A 40-yard punt, no return. And they will take over 1st and 10. Looking to put a drive together. They'll begin on the ground with Marks. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first. He's off to a great start here in this first quarter. It seems like this defense is probably going to have trouble containing him.
I would agree with that. I love the observation. And here's the thing. Their game plan coming to fruition. You knew that they came in thinking that they could run it, and now they're proving that they can and doing it in a big way.
And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be 2nd down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
From just shy of midfield, here's 2nd down and 8. Now Stroud. Man open, that's complete to Dalton Schultz. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. That'll go as a pickup of 32 on the catch and run.
And the offense is saying to itself right now, if only they were all this easy, because he was wide open. And once he made the catch, plenty of room to work his way downfield. That was a breakdown on the defensive side of the ball, one that they want to fix immediately.
Oh, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Defensively, they had that one pretty well figured out.
Yeah, and one of the things about this play, it can be even more effective when you run a lot of motion, and there's plenty of times you don't hand it off.
Now 2nd and 9.
Up the middle, it's Marks. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11.
64 yards rushing for him now to this point.
We are watching a runner having a really nice game. Carrying it very well. Vision is excellent, but boy, look at the help he's getting. Offensive line, I think they're pretty eager to block for him.
A couple extra tight ends in the formation here as they line up 3rd and 2. They'll try and run for it with Marks.
And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line. Give him the 3rd down conversion, 5 yards on the play.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And in the next breath, they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up 1st downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the touchdown, Texans. From 6 yards away.
And the Texans are off to a 13-0 first quarter lead.
The tight end position has always been dangerous, especially in the red zone, short field. But now even more so, because these tight ends aren't necessarily the tight ends of old. They're the rocked-up wide receivers who have a little bit more speed, way harder to cover than before.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. Looking to put a drive together. They'll throw with May. They set up the screen for Henderson. 7 yards there on the first down screen play.
And a really nice play call there to start the drive, especially if you're a team that has a little bit of a reputation for throwing it downfield. You come out and you think maybe you can catch them off guard a little bit, and they did. Little screen pass, backdoored them, and that time worked well for a solid gain.
May going to give it to Henderson. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
Sometimes I get almost mesmerized watching these runners who have great vision. You know, those eyes that carry their feet to open spaces, make people miss. I just love watching those guys go to work.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Once again, it's Henderson. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
Well, we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Short pass caught by Henry. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Completes it to Douglas. They'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards.
What an intelligent play as he found open grass and uncovered quickly. A nice clutch play to move the chains. The defense, they've got to do a much better job of accounting for these shorter routes.
Looking to throw, May. Over the middle, he finds Henderson, complete. And a couple of yards as they move it from the 21 to the 19.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
Douglas with a grab over the middle. And the Patriots are going to have a 1st and goal as the tackle made at the 10-yard line.
A gain of 9 yards. That's another Patriots first down. First down and goal to go.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll look to throw again. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And just shy of the goal line as he's out of bounds right at the 1. A gain of 9 there. Sets up 2nd and goal. May now off the bootleg. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. Will Anderson. Now 2 sacks for him already here in this first quarter of play.
When you're this close to the goal line, you got to expect pressure from the defense, so the ball's got to come out fast. Got to get out of his hands quicker.
So the sack means it's 3rd and goal now from the 10. Here's May. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And here he'll get it down to the 7. He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now 4th down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
On 4th down, out comes Andres Borregales for the Patriot field goal. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And his kick here is good. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3.
So, Charles, they are on the board after that kick. So 3 drives, 3 points. Obviously not the start that you were hoping for, but they're able to erase that 0 off the scoreboard.
Yeah, I guess what you're saying is a point a drive is not what offenses are striving for by any stretch. They're happy they've got 3 now. They hope that that unlocks their offense for bigger points down the road.
Oh, a good-looking return set up here.
And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line.
Heading out as the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. Looking to put a drive together. Stroud. That's going to be caught by Kirk. They'll go for a gain of 7. And that will bring up 2nd down.
It's a gain of 7. Brings up 2nd and 3 at the 42-yard line.
After one, a 14-3 ball game. Texans football to start quarter 2 as they've got it with a 2nd and 3 forthcoming. Play action. Here's Stroud. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
And he is going to have a Texans 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
But things are definitely going right for them here in the first half. Pick a down, any down, even 3rd down, no problem. They get a connection there and pick up a fresh set of downs, continuing to move the ball.
On the bootleg, Stroud. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Have to give some credit to the defender on that when he read all of his keys perfectly and got a great break on the ball and able to force that incompletion.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Again, it's Stroud. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's got another 1st down as the tackle's going to be made at the Patriots 28. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another 1st.
Well, certainly as a fan, you get a little bit nervous when you see him make those kind of throws. But they work on that in practice more than we know. And most of them now know their limits and know what they can get away with. And there's a completion right there.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
1st down. 1st and 10 at the 16-yard line.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Marks now on 1st and 10. And he takes us down to about the 12 for a gain of 3.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That was a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
Well, they'll come up 2nd and 7. The handoff, it's Marks. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. 79 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
And Stroud now to throw. And it's caught. Touchdown. Dalton Schultz from 4 yards out. And the Texans are able to add on to that lead.
You get down near the goal line, this is where having a sure-handed tight end becomes a luxury, and it pays off big time, especially when the defense sells out against the run. He finds himself open for an easy touchdown.
Fairbairn good with the extra point. And the lead is up to 18 now.
21, Patriots 3.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. Pretty move. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. New England trying to get a place on offense. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
And that's off the mark, incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Up the middle, here's Henderson.
Now he's loose at the 40. Inside the 20.
And all the way in. Touchdown, New England.
Trevion Henderson.
73 yards.
And the Patriots are able to strike quickly here as they are in for 6.
You get in a 2nd and long situation down here in the red zone. I'd say most defensive coaches would think pass. Let's bring some pressure. So this is kind of a tendency breaker here to hit him with something on the ground, and he'll take it all the way into the end zone.
Extra point splits the uprights, and it makes the score 21-10.
Following the touchdown, Borregales back out to send this one away. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line.
Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. Looking to put a drive together.
Stroud looking to throw.
Open man is Kirk, complete. And only able to get 2 here, stopped at the 30.
Timing is so important on a route like this because he's going to line up out right and then cut straight across the field. I think the ball might have come out a count or two too late because by the time he was able to secure it, not much of a chance to turn it upfield.
Throwing now is Stroud.
And he goes down. It's a Patriots sack. It'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's 3rd down.
Well, that's what they have to do more of defensively, not just getting sacks, but they have to keep getting in his face, not let him get his feet set and deliver. He's been carving them up previously.
Yeah, already has a couple of touchdown passes. About time they put a few grass stains on that jersey. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And pressure coming, and they got it once again. And now that brings up 4th down there, a loss of 6 yards on the sack.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
On is the punter Townsend as he gets this one away.
On the return is Jones. A 46-yard punt, 8 yards on the return. And the Patriots take over.
New England's offense set to go. And right now, Charles, it just feels like they're trying to keep pace. They did score the touchdown last time out, but they still trail by double digits here. We'll see if this offense is once again up to the task.
Yeah, and I think that after the last drive, they've got to be pretty revved up, don't you think? Everything they were doing was working pretty well. They go back out there with the same mindset, play at the same tempo and the same pace. Still a lot of time left to make something happen in this one.
Give him a couple on the scramble. It's second down.
Brandon, once that one broke down, there were only so many options left for him to take. Fortunately, only first down, so he smartly got the yardage he could get and didn't worry about trying to turn it into a bigger play and end up taking a bigger loss. Here, they hope they can regroup and get something different going here on second down.
Up the middle, it's Henderson. And a gain of 4 gets him right to the midfield stripe.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Patriots first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
We always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it. And it's second down.
He may be a bit undersized compared to the modern-day NFL defensive tackle, but what he lacks in size, he definitely makes up for in his ability to make tackles in the run game as well.
From the 35, here's a 2nd and 8. From the shotgun, May with it. Out route, and this is Henry with a catch. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And that's going to make it third down and less than a yard.
Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
The offense on third down tonight, they've only converted once in 4 tries. They're looking at third and a few inches. And he's able to pick up the first down here before he goes down at the 26.
It's a gain of 2.
It's been a good drive so far. They just wanted to keep it going, so they call low-risk, low-reward play. No one's worried about picking up big yardage here. Quarterback sneak, keep the chains moving, and pick up another first down.
Henderson now on 1st and 10. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there. Second down.
And Brandon, every running back wants to use their speed in order to get out in front of things. Sometimes you just have to be patient, let blocks develop. On that play, that didn't happen.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. To the air, May. And this complete to Henry over the middle. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
3rd and 4.
And there wasn't much room for the big tight end to do much after the catch. But at least he was able to pick up a solid gain to help his offense continue to move in the right direction.
This offense has converted 2 third downs on this drive already. This is 3rd and 4. He's got his target. That's complete. And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And this is an offense in need of getting a few good things to happen. Here's one right here. They've had their share of struggles in key moments, but that's a nice throw and nice work after the throw, and they're set up now with a 1st and goal.
Throw left side complete. That's Douglas. And he's in. Touchdown, Patriots. From 6 yards away. And the Patriots are back within a score. They haven't fully climbed the mountain, but they've started the ascent here with that score.
I like that, right? I think they've left base camp now, okay? So they've started to move their way up the mountain. Long way to go, but at least they know it's manageable.
Extra point right down the middle. And it's now 21-17.
Patriots 17.
Following the touchdown, Borregales back out to send this one away. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24.
Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here.
No points last time out. They were forced to punt, if you remember, but no time to dwell on that. They've still got the lead here and a chance to add to that here. 1st and 10 as this new drive starts.
Looking to put a drive together.
On the ground, it's Marks to start the drive.
And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Here's a 2nd and 8. And they'll go play action here with Stroud.
The Pats are going to get there. Down he goes.
Multiple players getting home there for an 8-yard loss. So, Charles, no turnovers yet for this offense, but those sacks now, they're starting to pile up.
And one thing usually leads to another because they've got to figure out how the offensive line and everyone else involved in protection can keep their quarterback upright and allow him a chance to throw the ball downfield.
Back to throw. Here's Stroud.
They've got his man complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
That was no 3rd and 2. That was 3rd and 16, but they get the conversion anyway.
So into Pats territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line.
On the give, here's Marks. He'll get this to the 40. Sweet little juke in there. Got him some extra yardage. 88 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Stroud off the play fake.
And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play, and that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Now a first carry for their fullback. And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. A 1-yard gain there following the 3-yard pickup on first down.
Well, big man with ball met bigger man on the other side of the line. A really nice play for the defense.
And on 3rd and 5, this will be the 8th play of the drive. Here's Stroud. Pass taken in by his big tight end. That'll put him at 66 receiving yards now for the game, and he's got a first down.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down, and I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
And incomplete, he dropped it. Maybe a rookie mistake there, 2nd down.
Whenever I see an in-route dropped, as we just saw on that play, I'm always thinking that in the back of their mind, they're worried about what's coming at them because they're going towards traffic on that route as opposed to being away from it and maybe having a little bit more space.
Stroud sets up the play action. Now he's going to step up and run. All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's 3rd down.
They made a nice effort to stick him with a loss for that play, but it's going to take more than that to keep him from advancing the ball. Should be an entertaining battle anytime he tucks and runs over the second half of this contest.
They're 2 for 2 on third down conversions on this drive. This one tough. They need 9 yards on third down.
Now Stroud.
And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
Smart move to throw that one away. You're in field goal range, so you definitely don't want to be loose with the ball. And that's great work by this defense to force a fourth down.
Kaimi Fairbairn now to attempt the Texan field goal. Right hash, 37-yard attempt. Fairbairn able to put this one through. And they will open their lead up to a touchdown at 24-17.
So a nice kick there as they add 3 to the lead.
And from what I've seen so far, Brandon, I think they've been the better of the two teams here in the first half. So even though you want the touchdown, I think that's a nice job there to put 3 points on the board.
Fairbairn now following the made field goal. He'll send this one away.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. The Patriot offense back out, getting set to go.
Looking to put a drive together.
To throw, it's May. Now pass complete. Here's Butte with it.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards. It moves the sticks.
At the 44-yard line.
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down.
Throwing here is May.
It's complete to Diggs. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45.
A gain of 10 yards.
A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Patriot first down.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line.
Looking to throw. May. Gets this complete to Butte.
They'll give him 4 yards there, and that'll make it second down.
A gain of 4. It's now 2nd and 6 at the Texans' 42-yard line.
They'll throw with May.
And he's got his man on the out route. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And now it's 3rd and 3.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. From the gun on third down is May.
Throw right side, going to be taken in by Henderson. And he gets it down a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
First down.
But they certainly made a point of getting him involved in the passing game here in the first half. They must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting the ball possibly in the open field. And I think in the second half, that may loosen up the defense a little bit to get the running game going back inside.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. The Patriot passing game is rolling. They've got another first down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
Now the Patriots going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Line of scrimmage, the 9. Second and about a yard. May now off the bootleg. And that's going to be caught for a Patriot touchdown. Stephon Diggs from 8 yards out. And the Patriots are an extra point away from tying the ball game here in the final minute of the first half. These two teams in this first half, it's been fun. Back and forth, back and forth. Well, it's not fun for the defensive coordinators, but offensive coordinators are enjoying it.
Yeah, they're having streaks here, aren't they? Being able to put scores together and really bunch them up, and we have a tight game here. You know, we often talk about having the right shoes for the right turf. Today it's track shoes. That's what we've seen with these offenses.
Yeah, it's been an absolute track meet so far and fun to watch. Nothing separating these two sides. 24 all our score as he sends this one away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. The Texans with the football here late in this first half. And they'll have a little bit of time to work with. 35 seconds until the break. 35 seconds, all that remains in the first half as they come up on first down. They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they get it right at the 30-second mark of this first half. Second down and 4. Stroud. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts. So as they talk it over, we step aside.
First down. First and 10 at the 41-yard line.
Stroud to throw it. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Collins. The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. Here now, 2nd and 4. Stroud working out of the gun. Throw out wide is incomplete.
Well, he left no doubt about that one because even though he hasn't left the pocket, he's got a receiver in the area, so it's not grounding, even though there's no way that ball was going to be caught.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. As Stroud now to throw. And that's to the left sideline and incomplete.
Yeah, that's a nice job there defensively, blanking those receivers on 3rd down. And as a quarterback, all you can do is just loft one toward the bench, not too close, mind you, and live to punt the football.
Here's Tommy Townsend on to punt.
For the Texans.
This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And this one goes angling out of bounds, and it will be spotted inside the 30-yard line. The Pats going to get one final possession in this first half. And only 6 seconds on the clock, so time likely for just one play. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. Here's May. He's airing it out for Williams. This is caught inside the 15. And he'll be down deep into Houston territory. In the first half, just like the end of the game, can't end with a defensive penalty. They'll have another play.
One more play, untimed. See what happens here.
And his kick is good. And that will do it for this first half. So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports. It's been a shootout so far. We'll see which defense can make the adjustments as we get back underway in the second half. A little juke. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Here comes the Patriots offensive unit. They'll have it first here to begin the third quarter. And they've got the lead, CD. What do you expect from them in this second half?
Well, I liked what they were able to do on the ground in the first half because they had a lot of success running the ball, and I certainly think we'll see more of that. But I'd keep an eye on that defense, and I think their coaches up in the box will do the exact same thing. If they start to see one or two guys start to creep towards the line of scrimmage, that'll be licensed to take some shots downfield.
He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard.
Well, Brandon, we could see that play developing, and they were hoping that he was going to be able to put a move on the first guy and turn it into a big play. But no such luck. The speed on defense continues to get better and better in the NFL. Pretty nice example there of those guys being able to run from their assignments and finish off that play.
And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. He continues to deliver a first down here. He had 4 catches in the first half, and this one number 5.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them, and these guys have been taking advantage so far.
They'll look to throw now on first down. Douglas with a grab over the middle. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. No question that they're going to continue to look his way. 6 catches in the first half and now 7 on the game.
As a passer, you're always trying to find that open window to throw the ball downfield. How about this one? Right in the middle of the field, right in the heart of a defense.
They'll send a receiver in motion left. Now they show jet sweep it instead or run up the middle here. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
Here's 2nd and 8. Open man, the tight end, Henry. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 17-yard line. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
From the shotgun, it's May. And he will find his man on the outside. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5.
Here's a 2nd and 5. He'll look to throw. And that one too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
And on 3rd and 5, this will be the 8th play of the drive. To the air, May. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
It's 4th down.
That's a pretty play there. Got in at the last second, helped force the ball free, and kept them out of the end zone.
On now is Andres Borregales to try the field goal. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And this one is right through. And that will double their lead as it's up to 6. Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. You know, all things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side.
I would say that you've pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though, 3 points for the opening drive of the third quarter. And he won't quite make it to the 25. Here's the Texans offense now, readying for their first possession of the second half. And their deficit a little wider now than it was at halftime following the field goal a moment ago.
But the goal is still the same because you know they want to come out, establish a rhythm in the second half, and get going. Make no mistake about it, though. Kicking field goals, not in their game plan. They need to get the ball in the end zone.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
He's got his man, Schultz, coming across the formation. So the completion good for 7 there. And it's 3rd and 4 now.
The completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. A shotgun snap to Stroud. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Texans first down, and he was able to get it by plenty. A gain of 8 on 3rd and 3.
That's not the first time they've looked his way when they've needed a big play. He's been the go-to guy all game long. And they get the hook up again on 3rd down to keep this drive alive.
They'll fake the jet sweep, and now Stroud to throw off play action. He finds his target, it's Schultz. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans.
They had 2 tight ends in the formation on that one. It looked to me like he had his pick of receivers downfield.
I think he was just planning on going over the middle. That's what he did.
Picked up first down, too.
Throwing now is Stroud. And he'll be pulled in downfield by Collins. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That one goes for 30 yards.
Well, this game has certainly had no shortage of offense. Both teams have been revved up from the start. And here's yet another big play. Boy, both defenses have just got to be dragging out there because they've been run ragged throughout.
Stroud will look to throw once more. Now a run here off the RPO. He'll keep it. And Stroud wisely slides down safely after picking up the first down. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Here's Stroud. Yeah, he's got it. Touchdown, Texans. Jaden Higgins. A 5-yard touchdown. And the Texans are an extra point away now from moving out in front. Well, they were down 6 at intermission, but they quickly erased that deficit. And, Charles, now they've got a chance to take the lead.
And while being down 6 points, obviously not an insurmountable lead, tying a game up, that just relaxes a whole team, doesn't it? And now when you add the extra point, you go up, you really feel good about what you've accomplished.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29.
So the Patriots coming out now.
Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it, forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize, like going to the county fair. You don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material.
It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down.
They have 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw him for a loss.
He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a first down.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
To throw, it's May.
And this complete to Henry over the middle. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
They're just going to run a drive route here with their tight end. Let him get upfield about 10 yards and then move toward the middle of the field. This ball's right on target, and it results in a first down.
On first down, it's Henderson.
And he'll manage to break a tackle and get this forward for a couple. It'll be second down.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
2nd and 7. Throwing here is May.
Short pass caught by Henry. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
Looking to throw. May. He's got his target. That's complete. And he will have a Patriots first down by a couple of yards as they're able to convert here on 3rd and 3.
Well, we use the term pitch and catch a lot to denote an easy completion. We just saw one right there on 3rd and 3 to pick up the first down.
Why are those so tough to defend? Just because they hit so quickly?
Yeah, it's all about timing and confidence. Quarterback sees it, rips it, there you go.
Completes it to Douglas. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. The Patriot passing game is rolling. They've got another first down. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a second and just a few inches left.
Complete to number 8, Stephon Diggs. 10 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and inches at the 3-yard line.
They'll try the left side with Henderson. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
Now May on the sneak.
Just a yard, but that's all they needed. And by the slimmest of margins, it'll be 1st and goal.
And when all you want to do is keep your drive going, quarterback sneak's a great call, isn't it? Pick it up, get a new set of downs.
And on 3rd down, usually you think 4th down quarterback sneak. There, though, it worked on 3rd.
They'll throw with May.
Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
On that snap, he's the hero of his defense after the play he just made. A one-possession game, and his hit kept it exactly that.
2nd and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line. He's got it complete to Diggs, right side. Touchdown, Patriots. Stephon Diggs with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Patriots have retaken a 3rd-quarter lead. Well, that's just how they drew it up, CD. His first read was there, got it to him quickly, and into the end zone.
Absolutely excellent execution by all involved. And the coordinator, got to give him credit, found the perfect play call. Quarterback let it fly as soon as the target came free, and his guy made a nice catch. Just how you draw it up in practice and then execute it in the game.
Following the touchdown, Borregales back out to send this one away. Oh, a good return up past the 30. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. And the Texans set to come onto the field. A lot of time for this unit to game plan on the sideline after that drive that they watched the other side just score. But remember, last time they were out, they scored as well. We'll see if they can seize that momentum right back.
And they have had a lot of time to cool off from reaching the end zone the last time. So have they been able to keep themselves mentally sharp and into this game, even though they haven't been on the field? And you and I both know, one big play, though, gets them right back up to that level.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Make it now 3 tackles for a loss in this game, 1 for each quarter.
And for a guy who played defense in college, I can just tell you that he's feeling very satisfied right now by what he's doing, but he's elated because he knows what he's doing is helping his team win the game right now, making some big-time plays getting into.
And he goes down. It's a Patriot sack. That time, multiple defenders getting pressure, and it's a loss of 6.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
3rd and 19. Back to throw. Here's Stroud. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Well, that play was certainly a little bit different because on the previous play he was sacked. This time, protection a lot better. Had time to survey the field and still couldn't find an open receiver.
The Texans send the punter out as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Looking to put a drive together. They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. There's Stephon Diggs for the catch on the slant. It'll go as a gain of 4. And it'll be 2nd down.
What terrifies defenses when they see slant routes thrown is that the receiver is on the move, and oftentimes he catches it and gets upfield. Does a really nice job rallying to him and stopping him for a minimal gain.
2nd and 6. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
I would describe the way that he's played today as mature. He's already moved on mentally from that incompletion, and he's more than ready to throw his next pass downfield.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. From the gun, it's May. That is caught. And he will have a Patriots 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
A gain of 16 yards. And the Patriots 1st down. First and 10 at the 49-yard line.
The tight end Henry here in motion. And they go play action with May. Got a man, Boutte. And he's going to get this inside the 30. They go right back to him for 20 and a first.
That's another Patriots first down. First and 10 at the 29-yard line.
From the gun to give to Henderson. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. 101 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
First down.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
Right back to Henderson on first down. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Azeez Al-Shaair in to make the stop.
This has been an up and down, back and forth type of a game, hasn't it? Maybe this long drive could take a little bit of the wind out of their sails, kind of settle things down a little bit.
They run once more with Henderson. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It's a loss of 4. Now third down.
I'll tell you what, this defense hasn't played its best, but they're still right in this football game. And if they keep making plays just like that, they're going to give their offense a chance.
A long way to go here on third down for the 8th play of the drive. Here's May. Pass to the sideline and pulled in. Touchdown! Hunter Henry from 17 yards out. And the Pats will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the third. That seemed pretty ideal there for the offense, Charles. You take a little bit of time off the clock here in the third quarter, decent length drive, and you pad your lead as well at the end of it.
And what it does is let you feel like you're in control of this game, even more so than a 2-touchdown lead, right? Because you have taken that time off, as you noted, which means they couldn't get you off the field. You ran your playbook the way you wanted to, and you gave your defense some rest. What a big-time drive in that situation.
Following the touchdown, Borregales back out to send this one away. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And now it looks like he's in some discomfort after being tackled at the end of that return. We'll get a report when we return to Foxborough. And here comes the Texans now. Defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. First and 10. Looking to put a drive together. Play action. Stroud now. Throw right side is going to be caught by Kirk. Only able to gain a couple there, and it'll be second down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Stroud going to give to Marks. And he'll be taken down after a minimal pickup, and that will take us to the end of quarter number 3. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we played 3 quarters. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now in Foxborough. New England on third down. They've converted 6 times and could use a 7th here. This is 3rd and 7. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. An excellent gain, 35 yards.
Well, as my dad would say sometimes, I'm just scratching my head here trying to figure out what was going on there defensively. How did you lose him in the middle of the field? If you're going to lose a receiver, make sure it's someone on the short side of things, not deep downfield, that can hurt your defense.
And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. Last play went for over 30 yards. This one not quite as big, but still over 20.
Good yardage on the completion there, and when they look at the scoreboard, they do understand a field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball back as quickly as possible.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
Brings up second and a yard at the Patriots' 3-yard line.
From the 3, second and a yard. Stroud looking to throw.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans.
Nico Collins
from 3 yards out.
And the Texans have made it a one-score game again here in the 4th. So how about that for an answer? They get the touchdown there, and it's back to a one-score game here in the 4th.
And that's what these guys have done all game long because they've scratched and slashed their way to stay in this game. And by now we should all realize they're not going away. Now the pressure again swings to their defense because they're going to need to find some way to get the ball back.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. New England trying to get a place on offense. Their lead back down to one score after the touchdown a moment ago. First down's a must on this drive as they start out here 1st and 10.
Looking to put a drive together.
To the air, May. They'll check this down to Henderson out of the backfield.
And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. So they'll get nothing out of that play. And it's 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained. So they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10.
And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down. He did an okay job of absorbing the hit, just couldn't secure the football through the catch.
And he was right there on the spot and forced the incompletion. That's something defenders work on all the time. If you're there, make the contact, but continue to work your way through the receiver so that you can't possess the football and turn it into it.
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line.
They'll take over 1st and 10 at the 38.
And Stroud now to throw.
This pass complete to Higgins. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a 2nd and about a foot.
10 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and inches at the 29-yard line.
Throwing now is Stroud.
And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line.
Christian Barmore busting through to get him for a loss of 6. And it has been a rough afternoon for him trying to get rid of the football. See, that's now 5 sacks.
How'd you like to be the offensive coordinator, the offensive line coach trying to come up with an answer for this pass rush? What blocking assignments do you change? Can guys play a little bit better? And we're seeing the end result on the scoreboard. Long day in the pocket for their quarterback.
fifth catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down.
I like the design that we're seeing right there. This is what they need. Down by a touchdown here in the fourth. They just need to keep working their way downfield, and when they see openings, take their shots.
Out of the gun, it's Marks. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
That's a nice job there, foiling what all offenses try to do, which is control the defensive end in the running game. They want to get to the outside, and if he keeps himself free, stays on his feet, he can make a play just as he did there.
Stroud out of the gun here. That's complete. It's Collins. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
It's a gain of 6, and it's 3rd down.
3rd and 5. Now Stroud. And that is incomplete.
And this defense definitely in his head there on 3rd down, and he's pretty fortunate. They didn't call for grounding on this one. That was a good 10 feet over everyone's head.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. 4th down, 4th quarter. Here's Stroud. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Dalton Schultz, a beast in the red zone with his 2nd touchdown of the game. And the Texans are an extra point away from tying this game here in the 4th. On for the PAT, Kaimi Fairbairn. And we are tied here in the 4th quarter.
That ties the game.
Now this one setting up for a great finish. All tied in the 4th as the kick's away. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. New England's offense set to go. They no longer have the lead after that last touchdown. All tied up in the 4th quarter. And a chance for this offense to mount a potential game-winning drive right here. Looking to put a drive together. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about. And you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent. And that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
Now a 2nd and 10. To throw, it's May. They set up the screen for Henderson. And he'll be out right at the 35. That goes as a gain of 11 and a Patriot 1st down.
And when you have success throwing the football, the old cliche becomes true. The playbook opens up wide, and these screen passes, they become even more difficult to stop.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. He's got it to Williams. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line.
Complete to Kyle Williams. A gain of 9 brings up 2nd and 1 at the 43-yard line.
2nd down and a little more than a yard here. Here's a toss to Henderson, headed right. 2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks.
And that last carry puts him right at 100 yards for the game. So how has he done it? Because he's been patient, followed his blocks, let everything develop, and then burst through for big gains.
So after 2 first downs, they get another here. 1st and 10 at the 45.
Throwing here is May. Finding room at midfield.
And he's going to get this into enemy territory at the 45. The Patriot passing game is rolling. They've got another first down.
And partner, in a tie game in the 4th quarter, you and I both know in the NFL, that's when you lean on your stars, and he came through with a nice catch right there.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 45-yard line. And he spots Henderson open left side. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 12 more yards there and another first down.
And now a tip of the cap to the man under center, Charles. He just went over 400 yards passing in this ball game. He's got the touchdown passes to boot, taking pretty good care of the ball. Just all around a really solid performance.
Yeah, just check, 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 and check, right? Because he certainly showed he was worthy of the trust that his team put in him. A handful of touchdowns to his credit thus far. Now he's just crossing off yardage milestones, and win or lose, his name has to be in serious discussion for player of the game.
That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13.
Looking to throw, May.
He's got it complete to Diggs, right side.
Well, hang on now. We're going to pause here. We've got an injured player.
We'll get a report when we return to Foxborough. Play number 9 set to come here on the drive on 3rd and 2.
They'll throw with May. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point, and they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
And his kick is indeed good, and they have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
After the made field goal, back out is Borregales to kick this one away. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24.
And now out comes Houston.
And now they find themselves trailing following the field goal. Still a good amount of time in this 4th quarter, but this drive very well could determine the outcome of this ball game.
Looking to put a drive together.
They'll begin on the ground with Marks.
And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Well, I think after that run, the defense is getting back in the huddle and looking at each other and maybe starting to question their confidence a bit. They gave up a significant run, 6 yards, and now you're saying to yourself, how do we stop them, and do I have enough confidence to make a play?
They run straight ahead with Marks.
And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39.
Well, now after all of this, hang on here because he appears to be shaken up.
We'll get a report when we return to Foxborough. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now it's the former Badger, Dare Ogunbowale. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
If you're in the offensive huddle, you're smiling after that play because you certainly got them guessing now. Second and short, could they just hand it off for another big gain, or do they take advantage of this spot to take a big shot downfield?
This 2nd and 4. And trouble trying the middle here. And they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain.
That's all about doing the dirty work right there defensively. 2nd and short yardage, that's all about plugging those gaps, not giving a running back a crease to run through, and has a nice job to hold them just a couple and force a 3rd down.
They need 2. Here's 3rd down. Stroud to throw it. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Oh, with a dime look on defense, 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
The Texans send the punter out as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. The Patriots ready to try again on offense. Their defense got the stop, forced the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead. Looking to put a drive together. The drive begins with a run by Henderson. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Good push from the offensive line, and they've done well so far to build this lead. Now they've got to get things to the finish line, and that's a solid pickup there to begin the drive.
Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25. Back to throw here. Douglas with a grab over the middle. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. These two have hooked up 9 times now this afternoon as they pick up the 1st.
I think that's a big pickup for a 1st down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a 1st down. Executed it to perfection. May going to give it to Henderson. And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain. 2nd down.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
2nd and 7 at the 41-yard line.
From the 41, here's 2nd down and 7. He'll look to throw. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. He has a 1st down, and that catch will also put him over 100 yards receiving now on the afternoon.
Patriots, 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line.
Up the middle, it's Henderson. And a determined run there as he's going to take this all the way down near the 40. That goes as a gain of 11 and a Patriot 1st down.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a 1st down, he's the guy they've turned to, and it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
To the 36-yard line, stop there. And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
So he'll be stopped here for no gain. And now 3rd down and 6 to go.
Well, the stats that matter on this play don't help a team very much unless, of course, you're playing defense.
If you're getting points per reception, you got a reception, but no yardage. Great job by the defense, though. They read through that one.
They read through it, gave up no yardage, and people got credit for tackles. Pretty good deal.
Oh, and a heck of an effort there as he'll make the diving catch. He's been big. 2 touchdowns earlier. Now he's got a first down here.
And that certainly appears to be a critical conversion right there, because not only do they keep the drive going, they take valuable time off the clock as well. They have to feel really good about that last completion.
Here's May. Well, that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down.
It leads to 2nd and 10.
Normally you think the tight end's going to be able to catch the football and handle that contact, but in this case, maybe a little too much target to hit. That one was timed well, incomplete.
Out of the gun, they give to Henderson. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first timeout. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning.
1st and goal at the 1-yard line.
So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. Stevenson is into the end zone for a Patriot touchdown.
And that right there is a definition of a statement drive. You're in the 4th quarter, trying to get to the finish line, and here they were able to hold the ball for a long time and move it down the field. And how about them finishing it off with the touchdown run? Winning football 101, check that box.
Point after, right down the middle. And his guys will take a 10-point lead.
Patriots 55, Texans 45.
Following the touchdown, Borregales back out to send this one away. And he won't quite make it to the 25. So Stroud and the Texans down by 10. 2:21 the time left. They have 2 timeouts and a 2-minute warning to work with, but they also need 2 scores. They've got to go quick. Back to throw. Here's Stroud. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was out there waving his arm saying, throw it here, dropped it, not a good look.
Well, all I can do is just look at him with contempt on that one. As a defensive back, I'm saying, not as an announcer. Just like, really?
A little bit of a diva look, isn't it?
Yeah, very much so, because I think what happens is he just had too much time to think. He's wide open now. Here comes the ball, and he doesn't concentrate and drops it.
That's going to be caught by Kirk. Stroud's pass complete to Christian Kirk. It's a gain of 4. Brings up 3rd and 6.
Stroud. He'll try and do this himself. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. So there you go. Save your best scramble of the day for a big-time situation in the 4th quarter, picking up the first.
You don't want to use it up early, right? You want to make sure you save it for that exact moment, that key time. And that's what he did, although you and I both know it wasn't planned that way. But what a nice job using his eyes, scanning the field, and realizing when it was time to exit the pocket and go.
That's out to Chubb, complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Defensively here, you've got the cushion, but back-to-back pretty big pass plays there. Bend but don't break, but are they bending too much?
I think that they are. To me, it'd be like playing basketball, and you put up a token press. make sure you get up there and make them eat up some time. Make it a little bit of resistance so they can't just run it right down your throat.
Open man is Kirk, complete. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts, as they'll get it with just a shade under a minute to go in the game.
1st and 10 at the 22-yard line.
Well, they need to score, and score quick. 1 timeout remaining. Final minute, 1st and 10. He'll complete this one to Collins. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
The pickup brings up 2nd and 2 at the 14-yard line.
They come up now on 2nd and 2. Now Stroud. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout. And as the 2 teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break.
1st and goal at the 3-yard line.
Here we go. 1st and goal. Here's Stroud. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
And let's face it, this defense has had its share of struggles all game long, and they know that they can put it all behind them if they defend well here in the 2-minute drill. Excellent coverage right there to force the incompletion.
They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal. Stroud to throw it. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet. So add another one into the touchdown column. What a game. That is now 6 touchdown passes for him so far in this one. Fairbairn now to add the extra point. And the lead is down to a field goal now.
Makes the score Patriots 55, Texans 52.
So still a chance with just over 20 seconds to go, but they need to get this one back, no doubt. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. They had to go for it with no timeouts remaining, though now. This one's as good as over.
They gave it an effort. They tried their best, did everything they could to try and get the ball on the onside kick. You're exactly right. They had to try it. It was their only option. And now this game is done. Just take it, kneel, and call it a day.
So he'll take a knee here to wrap this one up, and he's going to want to keep that game ball. He was sensational. Charles, normally when you see a group score this many points, it's a complete blowout, but instead they needed every single one of those in this close, high-scoring affair.
Yeah, Brandon, I'm still on the edge of my seat after that one, because when you have that much scoring and it still comes down to a one-possession game at the end, that's not something we see very often. And in this case, these offenses, they brought it. The defenses, they're going to need some work going forward.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. The Patriots winners here at home as we say so long from Foxborough.